Several of the pieces in Wallflower focus on fathers, the kind who mean well but always manage to disappoint, like the fathers in the next two pieces. This is one bag of popcorn. "Dad's a dick," my sister said. I turned to see him throw $20 on the candy counter for one small bag of popcorn. "Keep the change," he told the girl. Of course, she was cute and like 16. Then he sat there eating it all and fidgeting. I wasn't surprised when he got up 10 minutes into the movie, mumbling something about too much blood and gore. "Get me a box of Junior Mints," I told him. This is Hanukkah. David's Buick is packed with so many stuffed animals, it looks like he's robbed a zoo. At his ex-wife's house, he opens the car door, wrestles a full-size tiger out by its tail, and drags it across the snow-covered lawn. It takes 20 minutes to fill the den with damp toys. Laughter shrill, smiles too wide. His daughters roll atop the plush mountain of new pets. They hope this year's performance will convince Dad to stay. Last Hanukkah was such a failure. People say they'd love to be young again. I would too, but not if it meant reliving my teenage years. This is What's All This? We're sitting in Billy's parents' basement on these plaid couches that smell like his 5 brothers' farts when Bo puts his arm around me. First I'm like, ooh, because of Bo's B.O., and then I move closer and rest my head on his shoulder because, well, B.O. or not, it's Bo, and it's so cool that maybe Bo and I could be a couple, like Sue and Billy. Sue and Billy have been together 6 months. People are looking at Bo and me, then looking at each other, because Bo's done this before, acted like he likes me. Like the time a bunch of us did a seance. We contacted Bo's grandma. Bo said he could smell her talcum powder, and then Bo and I went in a bedroom and made out for a long time. And once we met in a park when no one was around and played crazy eights on the makeout table, and then we made out, even though the makeout table was for couples who had been together for 2 weeks or more. So the guys look and the girls pretend not to, and Saturday Night Live is on, and Gilda is Emily Litella. Her hair is a big ball of frizz, and she's wearing clear dark glasses and one of those old lady sweater closed really tight at the neck with a big pin, and she's pissed off. This time it's about violins in movies. She's pounding her fist on the desk and saying, "What's all this I hear about violins in movies?" Bill Murray tries to stop her. "Miss Litella," he says. He wants her to know that it's not violins in movies, it's violence in movies. And just when she's about to say, "Oh, well, that's different," this dimwit Mitchell looks first at me and then at Bo, and in his mouth-breathing way says, "Bo, dude, what are you doing with Emily Litella?" Bo looks at me and lets out this fake horror movie shriek like I had somehow snuck under his arm without his knowing it, and then everybody's laughing. I just sit there blinking, but inside I'm repeating Emily Litella's famous line, "Never mind, never mind, never mind." Okay. In the suburbs of New Jersey, the mall is for shopping, socializing, and if you use the word loosely, romance. Small flower. I've blown out my shag haircut and it's big. Big, big. Cool with the mirrored halter top and jeans chopped into shorts. Short shorts. I'm psyched for the mall and its food court where I strut the aisles on swizzle stick legs, past Jan's green whipped cream, past Beefsteak Charlie's, past the crepes at Magic Pan, past the nut shop's chocolate turtles, to buy cigarettes at Mr. Pipe, where Scott wears an afro and a Star of David, ties a red bandana to the loop of white overalls, and asks me to meet him behind Cinnabon, where I wait, back pressed against cinder blocks, face tilted to the sun, knowing, as I suck the smoke in deep, that I'm a fox. A total fucking fox. After living in Brooklyn for 30 years, my husband and I recently moved to a small town in upstate New York. Peony's is about my neighbor who has a beautiful flower garden. Peony's. Not far from our new house in the country sits another house, a glorified trailer with an overstuffed flower garden. I drive past and wave enthusiastically to the owner, red-faced from his labors, who returns the gesture with equal zeal. Early in the evening, I decide to visit my neighbor. I choose clothing carefully, a flowered blouse, perfume. I'm not sure why. Besides the wave, he isn't attractive. Droopy, wispy strands of black hair barely stretch across an oversized head, a droopy stomach over droopy shorts. I find him beside his house in a shed lit with a single bare light bulb. I'm here for the peonies, I say. We look at each other for a long moment. Up close, his nose is blunt. A fine white scar divides the bottom lips. Peonies, he says slowly, as if I've uttered the correct password. On most days I love where we live now. On the day Not That New York, a new poem that isn't in Wallflower was written. The country just wasn't doing it for me. This is called Not That New York. My neighbor's goat suns atop smooth stones, a barrel-chested deity inhaling the sky. Not the Brooklyn sky I've smuggled to this gingham village in a plain brown bag to snort like a glue addict, curry and porn, the dog walker's tangled pets, but this New York, upstate New York, with its papery, peppery hornet's nest, funk of exhaled algae, and frogs. Not goitered pet shop frogs, dismal in their filmy tanks, but vast conventions of frogs, great lollapaloozas of frogs, bleating like a million homesick mini-goats, take me home, take me home, take me home. As we get older, we lose people we love. This poem is for my aunt who died of Alzheimer's a few years ago, called No Word for Enchantment. My aunt no longer recalls the word pond. She would not recognize her reflection, opal face, fanned lashes on rouged cheeks, a glamorous sea creature in violet perfume. At the pond, I skipped a stone that pinged a frog's face. She no longer recalls its slow eyes. Gone is the word for enchantment. She who walked a city block in seconds, cashmere-covered elbows a blur of purpose, waits for the scratchy, long-distance voice of a mother gone 50 years, imagines her husband whose mouth she's kissed 1,000,000 times, a burglar, the postman. Once she told stories of her Parisian childhood, amber ablaze in a dollhouse bedroom, pale garters hoisting seam stockings, bad shrimp in Provence. Now, she asks, why haven't you brought me a small black dog? Okay. Come Back was written after Wallflower was published, but it's about my uncle, my aunt's husband who died recently, so the poems belong together. This is called Come Back. Come back in your hospital gown, bleached gray as an old dog's beard, the robe hanging from the anvil of your back, gnarled feet in paper slippers. I'll float you away on a carpet of bed sheets, paddle boat to the edge of a gently sighing lake, speed you away on skates. Do you remember the book of costumes you wrapped in gold paper? Corsets laced kindling thin, bustles broad enough to seat a village. Shed the robe and choose an outfit. I see you in an ermine cape with velvet bloomers, a mobster's pinstriped suit. I'll wear a flapper dress and jiggle the fringe. The Charleston is easy. Bend your elbows into bird wings. Raise your hands like this. All right. So we grow up, and what was so exciting can seem a little old, especially the next morning. This is your last rooster. You half hoped the cartoon cock-a-doodle-doo that startled you at daybreak had come from the man in your bed who'd strutted about the bar, over-preened chest atop short, bent legs. He promised another go-round with you, the evening's choice hen, vowed to cook pancakes in the morning, but his muscles fluttered and off he flew, leaving the stink of barnyard on the sheets. The cock crowed in the alleyway again and then again. You parted the curtain, peered through the glass, hoping for him, russet beak, legs spinning, anything but the reflection of your own sooty eyes, hair a bale of dry hay. All right. Well, because there's so many writers here, I know most of you have been to writers' groups, so this is about a writers' group that started, as they all do, with very good intentions and took an unexpected turn. It's called Wool and Spool. The poets in my workshop are meeting without me. I heard the news from a former member who spotted me weeping in a wine bar and just had to tell. They've started their own workshop, 2 days of joy. That is not a workshop at all, but an invitation only, BDSM, LGBT, furry friendly, little people, giants welcome, NAMBLA tolerant, weekend sexathon held in the tent of an abandoned circus. The other members, apparently too busy juggling Benoit balls and buying backless spanky skirts, never mentioned the change in plans. To Amy at Do Me Dirty, Pam at Petting Zoo, Tamara at Tie Me a River, James at A Foot Is Only Half of It, Deirdre at Go Downward Dog, Bob at Of Human Bondage. Subject: thanks for the invitation to 2 days of joy. I don't know what I did to deserve this brutal abandonment, but let me tell you, I will never, and I mean never, allow you to read my rhyming sonnets again. Not even the new piece, the one you said, oh yes, I can't wait for that. In case you've forgotten, it's about my mother knitting an afghan. I will tell you, there's a lovely near rhyme at the beginning. Wool and spool. Think about that the next time you're doing Miss Kitty. You just think about that. All right, what did I do with that? All right, I'm going to end with this poem, which is what I end the book with. It's called Party at My Place. My vagina invites you to a party whenever your time frees up, or now. Now would be better. You see, it remembers the evening when it left your apartment. A pack of dogs followed it home. The neighborhood tomcat, balls bouncing, scaled the fire escape, sprayed the bedroom window. You wouldn't recognize my vagina now. It's so well behaved. Sitting for hours on an office chair, wearing cotton underpants, while it yearns for the days of trimming and perfume, a walking florist shop with the signs swinging. No need to RSVP or bring anything. Just get here. The cat's at the window and dogs circle the block.